Hello. Yes, hello. Hello, Ian. What do you mean kudzu route time? What do you mean? What are we doing? Wait a minute. Give me a minute. I did not check if this was aligned correctly. Whoops. Give me a moment. There we go. I think it's almost right. Nope. This is always hard. It was always difficult to do. I don't know. It is fine. But no, we're doing good boys, right? You know. I mean, I guess Kudzu's a good boy, but like better boy. How about that? You know, we're doing Brian's route. Is that better? Is that? Oh, I'll go back here. Yeah. Oh, it's neat to see this filling back up though. I haven't like started such a clean thing for this game since I first played it like 2 years ago. So it's like, oh, it's neat that like everything is locked. Man, poor Carl and Jenna only having like 3 CGs in their routes, right? Oh well. They'll get over it. They will. We're on Tuesday? Wait, this is the very start of Tuesday, right? There we go. Okay. Oh damn, I kind of hate this new YouTube UI. Like part of like the bottom like chat thing is cut off by the new like emoji button. And I'm like, oh, that's annoying. Right, I think that's annoying anyway. I guess I don't know. Do you all like that feature? Can I turn it off? I don't know. Anyway. Peyton Mall is tiny compared to the one in Pueblo, where I go to school. It's only got 1 floor and maybe 20 stores. I don't know, that's better than the mall in the town that my grandparents used to live in. They would have like... It was a mall with 4 stores in it. They had 4 spots for stores in this mall. It's like actually incredible. I loved going to that place. Like, it's like, oh, it's so interesting. It's got like 4 stores in it, like at max at a time. Like, this shit's so funny to me. Still, it wasn't a bad place to hang out back when I was in high school, mostly because it had a movie theater. So, where do you guys want to go first? First, we only need to go to 1. You sure? I mean, maybe we should help him branch out. He knows what he likes. It's fine. Well, alright. Lasers it is. It's one of those kind of stores where it looks like a radioactive clown jizzed on everything. What a description. Huh. Well, there is a lot of weird porn here. Think Carl would like that. I'm not really sure that Carl's into when it comes to that. I'm not really sure what Carl's into. Okay, yes. I think he likes the paws, honestly. Why don't I just box up my foot and put a bow on it then? Okay, Jesu. Porn? Really? Let's stick to comic books. We both look at him. Everything okay, Tej? I mean, we were supposed to go on the hike today, right? Was that why TJ was upset? TJ's been a bit in a mood ever since he woke up this morning. He didn't talk the whole drive here, instead just browsing through stuff on his phone. He's just salty that he isn't roasting on the trail right now. Okay, okay. No, this is fine. I'm fine, guys. TJ smiles to show how fine he is. Oh my god. Yeah, sure. Well, Leo's driving us up halfway after this, so you're still going to get yourself barbecue. You don't have to go if you don't want. I don't know if it would be fun if you were upset the whole time. At this point, Leo turns to me smiling. Are you going with them? In this fur? On these legs? I lift a foot for him. Showing the goods, I guess. No, it's over 90 degrees today. Yeah, best leave it to the land mammals. So? Leo claps his paws together loudly. Let's split it up and pick something out. I think this'll be fine if we keep it under 20 bucks. Here, I don't know if the audio's too loud or not. Here, I'll adjust it just a little bit. Not too much, not too much. So much leg talk. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I feel like getting porn for a friend's birthday would be really awkward. What do you mean? Would that be awkward? I mean, like, if you're all adults, I don't really see that being a problem. It'd be weird if you were, like, in high school and you did it, maybe, but I don't know. As everyone wanders off, I look around. I'm not sure what I should get him. He doesn't get excited about much unless one of his comic books is being turned into a movie. Jenna's already looking at the comic book section after sections, so I decide to try my luck there. Oh, wait a minute. The action figure one is when you talk to TJ, right? Is that the TJ interaction? Do we do that one? Is that one better? I move further towards the back of the store to the action figures, which is where TJ is. He's turning over a toy gun in his paws, his ears down. I walk up next to him, pretending to look over the wall. Find anything interesting? TJ shrugs, pulling the trigger on the gun a few times. It's definitely a weird-looking gun. It's pink, and the muzzle is perfectly shaped. It's perfectly round, the end tapered. That's when I realize it's a penis water gun. I'm alright. Just a little tired. He looks over at me, his brow raised. You're feeling better after yesterday, though? Yeah, a bit. Just wish it hadn't happened. Of course. So you're not going with me and Jenna on the hike, then? Guess not. Leo said he might need help setting up for the party at his house. I mean, you sort of promised me, but I guess that's all right. Oh my god. I cringe on the inside. This is why you never promise anyone anything. You haven't seen him in a while, so it's good you guys can have time to catch up. TJ lifts up the penis gun and points it at his face, squirting an eye and looking down the barrel. Squinting an eye. Whoops. How the fuck can he not tell? He must know what a dick looks like. I wonder what this is for. Do you think Carl will recognize it? He starts pulling the trigger several times, blowing the fur back on his face before opening his muzzle as well. I reach out and push it down. I think that's just a novelty item. You should get something else. Okay. I can tell that TJ isn't happy, but there's not much that I can do about it. I wander off towards the opposite wall where all of the posters are. Leo standing there, looking over the display board. I stand next to him. You know, I think every inch of this wall is covered. I don't know if there's any room anymore. Wait, any more room? God, I can't read. That's fine. Has he put anything on the ceiling? I don't think so. Then there's room. Well, alright. I guess I'll, get him Lucha. I don't think he's got one of him. I look over at the masked wolf, his arms crossed, a bare chest and abs stuck out on full display. I waggled my eyebrows. Sure, that's why you want him. Leo grins down at me. Oh yeah, sorry, but he's not my type. I like my guys a little more, supple. His tail slaps my ass. Well, I like him. I love muscles. Leo squares his shoulders and flexes. His biceps bulge to nearly the size of my head. Like these? I feign indifference, shrugging. Meh, I'm more into the cut look, like Lucha. Leo frowns, but I take that moment to slap his butt. Wait, him in the butt with my tail. Okay. Because it's not as flexible as his, I have to turn my body into it, and practically thuds into his ass. Okay, sirs. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this at the store. Leo yelps and stumbles forward into the posters with a loud chuckle. Chatter, clatter. Whoa. Calm down, boys. Jenna walks up behind us and stands next to me, her arms folded over a manga with a doe in a high school girl uniform on the front. Okay. That looks sexy, Jenna. A good pick. Jenna rolls her eyes as Leo reaches into the poster bin with Lucha in it. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't have this one. TJ follows up behind Jenna, a small figure of a Trinity Weasel on his paws. I laugh. And of course you'd get that, TJ. Hey, it's a good price, and the... He's kidding, TJ. Anyway, maybe it'll help him take another look at that movie. It really is good. I realize that I'm the only one that hasn't picked out a gift, and I look around anxiously. Right in front of me is a rack of beanie caps. One of them has a bloodied and decayed zombie face printed on it, his teeth bared at the brim. I assume it's to make the wearer look like their head is clamped on inside? Okay. Yes. I think Carl likes zombies. You think? Oh my god, Chase. I snatch it off the rack and hurry up to the front with the others. How does it look? I ask TJ as we're walking through the parking lot. It looks good, I guess. No, I mean, does it look like a zombie badger is eating my head? Oh, yeah, it looks great. He gives me a thumbs up. Okay, sir. I pull it down over my face slowly. How do you think we'd all do in a zombie attack? Poorly. Very poorly, actually. I lift the hat back up over my forehead. Like, who would die first? My eyes fall involuntarily on TJ. Me? Why do you think that? Well, maybe not. You are pretty fast. I just kind of imagine you just curling up in a ball. But honestly, I'd be the first to go. I stick out a leg. Look at how stubby these are. I'm faster. I'm the fastest, and I'd carry you. You wouldn't have to worry. Oh, really? I look over at Jenna and see that she's got that gleam in her eyes that always puts me on edge. Pretty sure I'm faster than you, Leo. Leo smirks. I'm pretty sure my legs are way longer and faster than yours, Jenna. Jenna sticks out her bag with the manga in it at me. I take it slowly, trying to catch her eye as so I can shake my head frantically at her. Leo sticks his bag out at TJ, almost punching him in the nose. And TJ jumps and gingerly takes it from him, frowning. This is a parking lot, guys. Are you sure it's a good idea? But Jenna and Leo have already taken up their positions side by side, leaning forward. All right, to that lamppost. Huh, you're on. Count us off, Chase. How is this proving anything? Don't you need to be carrying Chase? All right, ready, set, go? Leo actually gets a bit of a head start since he anticipated the go, but Jenna catches up right away. In fact, she's 10 feet ahead of him just 5 seconds into the race. I can hear her laughing as she gracefully speeds ahead, her tail whipping around like a flag as she zips off towards the horizon. Leo, realizing he's going to lose, is frantically flailing his arms around, his ears and head down as he charges forward. I'm actually surprised by how bad he's losing. I mean, he used to play football back in high school, so he'd had some training. That was like, what, 3 years ago? It's like 3 or 4 years ago now, right? Eh. With his head down, I guess he didn't see the curb right in front of him, as his foot clips it as he passes. I hear the yelp, then see him careen off to the side, then roll onto the asphalt, before slamming up against the tire of a parked car. Okay. Okay, sure. TJ gasps and covers his eyes. Oh my gosh! I'm already running up to where Leo's fallen. He's sitting up against the tire, one paw on his head as he grits his teeth in pain. Are you alright? Jesus, you hit that hard. I kneel down next to him, and the second he sees me, he grins and quickly scrambles up, brushing his paws. I'm fine. Just tripped a bit. I can see spots on his paw pads that are skinned and bleeding, and I wince. Jesus Christ, Leo, that wasn't just a bit. Jenna, having noticed that her competition had eaten shit, jogs back to us, her paws on her hips as she breathes heavily. Wow, you okay, Leo? I'm fine. Want to try that again? This stupid curb got in the way. Really? Nope. You're banged up enough as it is. You're fucking bleeding everywhere. I should probably drive. I'm fine, Chase. Leo rolls his eyes to show me how much he doesn't care, but I can see that the inside of his ears are bright red. That's a bit of an awkward silence, only punctuated by Leo and Jenna's breathing. Finally, Jenna walks up next to me and puts her paws over my shoulder. Well, now that you know who you're more likely to survive with in a zombie apocalypse, Chase, remember it. She leans her head up against my shoulder, and I cringe as I see Leo's smile turn icy. No, Leo. No, it's not my fault. It's Jenna being a bitch. All right, cool. Let's get going. I wiggle out from under her arm. You guys need to get to your hike. The drive back is only a little awkward. To her credit, Jenna does try to apologize to Leo, but he just waves it off like it isn't a big deal. Now look, Cirrus. Now look here. Leo doesn't need to chill out. For one thing, this is a common occurrence of Jenna trying to, like, fluster him about it. It's rude and mean. He can be upset about it. I can tell by how he's overdoing the cheerfulness that that's not the case. Okay. We drop TJ and Jenna off halfway up the trail, which happens to be next to the highway. Once we're done in the car, Leo starts messing around with the CD player. You might remember this. As the music fills the car, I'm immediately transported back to my high school days. Oh, good, I like this track. It's cute. Yeah. Jesus, is that a carpet? Is this carpet stains? Yup. Leo's grinning at me, occasionally glancing towards the road. This was a band we listened to together in my junior and senior year. You still into this stuff? Let's go with it's nostalgic, right? It's nostalgic. The music carries a lot of memories for me, and the fact that I hadn't listened to it since I'd last been in this town made it all the more powerful. Sure, the music is simple, the lyrics embarrassing, but I miss it. Maybe. I think I could be. I think I could be if I listened to it again. Me too. And as we drive, I mouth the lyrics under my breath. You haunt everything in my life. I see you in the clouds and the sky so blue. I can see your outline in my screen door, too. Good, good. God, Chase should just bang Leo. It's okay. I'll do it, Cirrus. But I'll still be desperate after. God, it was a little embarrassing. Yesterday when I was at Darian's place, I did not realize what I was wearing, right? Because you know, I always wear my beautiful anchor bracelet when I leave the house, right? But I was wearing a light blue t-shirt and khaki shorts. And I kind of like looked at myself later that day and was like, well, fuck. This was on accident. This was... Whoops. I guess I'm Chase today. Finally, we pull up to Leo's old ranch-style house. It looks the same as it always has, though the landscaping has definitely taken a turn for the worse. Leo parks and we both get out. I'm busy staring at the driveway, thinking about all the times I'd walked across it, when a gravelly voice pulls up from my reverie. Hey, who are you? I jump and look to the right, spotting a thin and angry-looking raccoon. He's standing next to some bushes, probably full of ticks, trimming them up. Hello, Vanel. The man, the legend, oh my god. Is this the most simped over side character in this game? Like... It should be like Brian or Jeremy. You know. Those are the reasonable ones to simp over. His yard is a desert landscape and looks pretty good next to Leah's property, which is nothing but weeds and sagebrush. Behind the raccoon is an old and rusty looking trailer home. Thinking back, I'm pretty sure that a really old mouse used to live here, but this guy's a raccoon and looks pretty young too. Reasonable, he says. It's a little reasonable. It's a little bit. No worries. It's fine. I hear Leo walking quickly around to the front of his truck to stand next to me. Hey, Cud. This is Chase. Remember, I was telling you about him. He talks about us. Leo puts his arm around me. Good. Good. This is what we want. This is the action that we want. Kudzu's demeanor changes immediately when he sees Leo. Hey, Leo. This is him, then. Cud? My voice is just incredulous enough to be offensive, and the raccoon notices. His already scowling face gets even more scrunched up. I'm not exactly from around here. Oh, really? No. We stand there for a few seconds, and then Leo grabs my arm. All right. Glad you two could meet. We're actually in a bit of a hurry. I got a party to plan for. The raccoon watches us. Excuse me. All the way to the door before Leo finally closes it behind him. Really, Chase? What? It's a weird name. I sniff, but instead of the scented candle smell I thought I'd get, I'm instead met with the acrid smell of cigarette smoke. Ah, I see. It doesn't look the same either. It's all a bit empty compared to when I was last here. It makes sense, I guess, with Leo's parents and siblings gone. I tell him what a great guy you are for the past 2 years, and that's his first impression of you. It's a Chase first impression, right? Like, how good could it be? Ah. Whoops, what? Well, I'm sorry. What happened to the old mouse guy? Charlie? He died a few months after you left. Oh, okay. Cud moved in a few years ago. Oh, well, he seems a little grumpy. He is, but he's a good guy. Been through a lot. Leo sets the bags down at the kitchen table, pulling out the cake and gifts. So, why'd he move here? Said he likes the isolation. He works in Peyton. Some things happened in the city, and he wanted to get away. Leo ruffles through the plastic cups and gifts. I forgot what country he's originally from. His full name is Kudzu. He's older. How old's TJ? Okay, how old's TJ again? I think he's 20, but he doesn't drink anyway, if that's what you're wondering. I don't know. People change a lot in a few years. Anyway, let's go to my room. I gotta message Carl. Oh. The bedroom. We can have fun time here. Leo's room is small but cozy, a little cluttered, but clean enough. I walk over to sit on his bed, looking around at all the posters, most of them related to football or hip-hop moguls? Moguls? He's had most of these since high school. It kept the same room, huh? Your parents' room is bigger, isn't it? Oh, alright. See ya, Maestro. Yeah, well, I'm used to it being here. Would be kind of weird hanging out in my parents' room anyway. Besides, he plops down next to me, bouncing me up and down on the bed. I don't really need the space. So, what do you do around here? It feels kind of empty. I'm really only here to sleep. Otherwise, I'm on the computer. You know, porn. He looks at me and grins. I look over at his computer. It's got a nice chair, and I guess what the box of tissues next to the monitor is for, but that's not what holds my attention. Instead, I see 3 holes punched into the wall. It's punched through the drywall. Around those are several more less successful dents in the wall, some with knuckle-shaped features. Holy shit! Leo's ears fall flat, like he's lets out an embarrassed laugh. Oh, yeah, that's my fault. I really get into my games. He's a gamer. Yeah. Hello, Michael. He's a real one. Real one. Red flag? Where? What? There are no red flags here. He's just a gamer. People do that while gaming. It's fine. I stand up and walk towards the wall, examining the damage. Leo stands up too, clearly uncomfortable. That was from a few years ago, though. I don't play that game anymore. See? He doesn't play the game anymore. It's all good. It's all good. Damn, Leo, you're fucking crazy. Yeah, it's great. I poke a finger through one of the holes, realizing that punch through the wall with one try isn't anything to sneeze at. And strong, so you still got that temper of yours. I don't. It was just the one game. He's got his paws on his hips, glaring at me. I mean, what if I was standing here? What would you have done to my face? I put my face in front of one of the holes for effect. Leo blanches, like I had slapped him. Hey, don't talk like that. I would never. I don't know. I know. Is it still going? Damn. Give me one moment. Okay. My internet disconnected for a weird amount of time. Yeah, that was weird. That was real weird. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We're back. The stream is still here. Well, you know how my internet is, I guess. I know. Sorry. It's just funny how angry you get sometimes. I mean, your phone looks pretty new. When's the last time you broke one? Well, okay. The damn thing wasn't loading right, and... He frowns. Why am I being interrogated right now? Yeah, you want me to live here. I think I have a right to be concerned about my personal property. I only broke your phone once. And it was an uneventful event. Not important. It's all good. It's all good. We're good. I spread my paws out. More than I've broken any of anyone else's phones. Yeah, well, I've never pretended that I cheated on someone as a joke. Oh. Wow, they really just go for it here, don't they? Kind of forgot. My attitude cools a little. Yeah, well, high school, you know. I know. Anyway, it's nice to have you here again. He reaches out and pulls me into a one-armed hug. When I pull back, though, I notice a cut on the side of his arm, a few more on the back of his paw as well. At this point, the fur is clumped together with coagulated blood. Man, you really wiped out. He looks at his arm. Oh yeah, I should clean up. Hey, get on my comp while I'm gone and see if Carl's online. Chase has the worst excuses for the breakup ever. He really does. It's something. Leo talks to me when he's walking out the door into the hallway. I should be logged on. Ask him what he's doing tomorrow. We need to plan this out right. Okay. I sit down in his chair and wake the computer up. Sure enough, Leo's already logged into his account. I look at his friends list, seeing that Carl is idle. I sent him the message anyway, then lean back in his chair, almost freaking out as it leans back way farther than I thought it would. Must be all those jerk-off sessions Leo's had. It's fine. Why did they break up again? Cirrus, we'll find out together. I mean, I'm probably gonna be pathetic and stream the whole game. You know how it is. I drum my paws against the desk for a bit, then look back towards the door. Leo's probably gonna be a while, and I am curious. I grin as I first check out his bookmarks. Social media litters for the first few slots. Then there is one called Mech Forums and another one called Mechanics United. And then, of course, there are a few sports and football-specific sites. Finally, I get to one called Gayvities, and then another called Otter Sluts. Let's go! I snort loudly at that one. I click at the history tab next. I scroll through it for a while, the first 50 or so related to some DJ or hip-hop artist. Finally, I see the word cock and know that I'm looking at one of Leo's porn sessions. It's pretty standard stuff, ass balls, makeout, blowjobs, but that's when I start seeing a pattern. Gay otter, otter asses male, male otter's tail up, gay blowjob otters. I raise my brows and click on the search bar for the history, typing in otter before hitting enter. The results spill down the window, the scroll bar small enough that I have trouble clicking on it to pull it down. Yes. Leo was only into me. Was Leo only into me because he had an otter fetish? I start to feel a little depressed as I scroll through the results, and that's when I notice another pattern. At least half of the results have wolf in the search phrase, and not just that. Wolf otter gay blowjob, Otter wolf gay couple kiss, otter wolf gay cuddling. He's got a preference, The nape of my neck prickles as I scroll down the hundreds of results, but that's when I hear the door open in the hallway. I jump, first covering the screen with my paw like an idiot, then quickly Xing out of the window. Except that doesn't work. The sheer amount of results I get from Leo's shame must have fucked up the CPU somehow. Desperately, I bang the mouse against the desk as I hear Leo's heavy footsteps down the hallway. I swear, there's a cut on my back, but I can't reach it. Fuck. I mutter under my breath, heart pounding in my chest. It's just like 7 years ago when my mom caught me looking at gay porn. Ah, memories. Leo walks in, the computer screen still hopelessly frozen. Can you help me get... Leo stops mid-sentence as I look back at him, the guilt on my face pretty damn obvious. What did you do? You know what? I try to stall and turn back to the screen, clicking furiously on the X. Hey. And just as he's walking up behind me, the window disappears. Wait a second. What were you looking at? Porn. I swivel back into the chair, grinning. Nothing? My voice squeaks. Leo stares down at me, exasperated smirk spreading across his muzzle. No, not nothing. What the hell were you looking at? Is there something I don't know about? He keeps on staring at me, but I get up and pretend to stretch, moving towards the bed. Well, yeah, there's something you don't know about, but now I know some things. I swish my tail behind me a few times, teasing him, but mostly I'm just relieved I didn't get caught. I hear him move, but before I can react, he's on me. He grabs my arms and shoves them up behind my back, and then shoves me forward, falling on top of me on the bed. I grunt loudly as his weight pushes the air out of my lungs. Looks like I'm going to have to get it out of you the old-fashioned way, Otter. I struggle a little, but there's no way in hell I'm getting out from under Leo if he wants me to stay there. Hey, get off! He clutches both of my wrists in one paw, while he digs the other into my side. I gasp and writhe desperately, bouncing up and down on the bed while he pinches at my ribs. No, please! I don't know anything! Sure. Now, what were you looking at? He leans in harder on me, and I feel his hot breath on my ear, nuzzling at it, only making me laugh and squirm harder. While I'm sure Leo is curious about what I was doing on his computer, I'm definitely sure that there's another reason why he's doing this. I can feel it against my ass as he rolls around on top of me. Before I can really think about that, he lets go of me. Of my paws, yes, and the tickling stops. I only have a second to reprieve before both his paws dig into my armpits. Okay, good. Practically squealing, I writhe around, managing to get on my back, and now that he isn't laying on top of me. It doesn't help much, as he just goes right back to my armpits. I can't take it anymore. All right. I was just searching your contacts to see if you were hooking up with anyone. The tickling stops, and I'm left gasping for air while Leo just looks down at me, grinning. Oh, a little jealous, huh? Maybe a little. Huh. Leo looks genuinely happy about that, his paws spread out to either side of my head as he grins down at me. I take my chances and shoot my paws up to his sides, digging in. He yelps and curls up and falls on top of me again. I don't relent, though, and keep wiggling my fingers around his body. Obviously, he's letting me win, but it's still fun seeing him melt into a twitching pile of giggles. He rolls to the side of me, and I get on top of him, pretending to wrestle him down like I've done hundreds of times before. He playfully fights back, but he's grinning up at me with a dopey tongue out of his muzzle expression. On a whim, I plant my knee on his crotch. I'm not sure why, probably to let him know that I know. Or maybe it was just a way to get back at him for getting off of this. He yelps again, this time a lot more loudly, and folds up, pushing me off to the side of him. Fuck! We both lay there, side by side, panting and sweating a little, my head resting on his arm. I think I won that. No way! I got you to squeal. And you cheated when you crushed my dick. Leo reaches over to me, to turn on a small, complicated looking fan on the side bed table before flopping his other arm over his eyes. As I stare at the fan, I notice something else next to it and gasp loudly. What? Is that a fucking gun? Oh, yeah. It's real? Yeah, of course. I turn my head to stare at him. Why? You just leave it out here in the open? I'd never thought of Leo as a gun person. From what he's told me, he hated guns. Okay. Well, my dad has a bunch, and when he left, he gave me one for protection. Wow, do you really need it? A few people in this town, well, you know. I think I know the people he's talking about. Have you had to use it or something? I mean, it's just sitting out. Leo shifts, bouncing the bed, yes. It's just to say, let's just say some people need convincing when they're trying to cause trouble. Excuse me. I'm about to ask, but Leo holds up his other paw. Not now, I'm tired. I'll tell you about it later. It's not properly stored. I mean, where do you want him to put it? It's fine, just leave it on the table. It's Echo. There's less than 200 people. Who's gonna come and take it? Whatever. It's fine. I go quiet, but it's hard not to stare at the gun. The concept of owning one is just so foreign to me. So, what's with the fan? I change the subject. Leo looks confused, then over at the fan. Oh, it's a humidifier fan combo. I get nosebleeds a lot. See? He's just like me, for real, for real. It's fine. See, we both use humidifiers. It's great. It won't be awkward with that I need one. It's we both use it. It's fine. I close my eyes and lay there against Leo. This is probably a bad idea, I know, but it feels good and I'm tired, even after the discovery I made on his computer. I guess I'm just trying not to think about that right now. The fan drones softly. Is this song? Is good. Is good. I like this track. I like this track a lot. It's cute. It's real cute. Leo's arms move under my neck, and I move his paw come up and start brushing at the tuft of fur on my head with his thumb and index. I wish you would style this again. When I had it spiked? That was stupid. I liked it. I feel myself dozing off as his fingers start brushing my forehead. I feel the coolness of his anchor bracelet through my fur. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Huh? I'm barely awake at this point, the fan blowing on my face, Leo stroking. Excuse me, feeling his warm body next to mine. I saw you here last week, outside my window. That registers a little weird, so I come back out of my doze a little. Oh? Yeah. I just looked out there and I saw an otter just standing there. Huh? You think it was just another otter? Well. Leo yawns and turns his head towards me, snuffling at my ear. There's only one otter guy. Remember Dale? He's fat, though. It could have been just someone that was lost, right? Maybe. I went out and didn't see anyone. Huh, well, sometimes people see things. His arm tightens around my head as he gives me a soft hug. Hope I'm not seeing things right now. I roll my eyes, but his words remind me of something. Just like a bad dream, I'll be gone when you wake. But I swear, even if this was fake, I'll never forget your face. I sing a few lyrics from one of our old emo songs, but that's when I hear Leo snore, so I give into my pleasant drowse and sink slowly into sleep. Ah. It's good. It's good. It's just, he's a good lad. It would be nice. It would be nice. I feel a presence in the room, and it's angry. Chase? I jolt awake, but I can't open my eyes. Chase? Finally, my eyes twitch open, but I can't move. I can only wiggle the tips of my fingers. Just try to hide. I dare you. I flinch. The voice is right in my ear. I'm still in Leo's room, still in his bed, and I can vaguely make out his body shape out of the corner of my eye. The room, though, it's tinted red. I hear clicking and see the monitor switch on. I see myself bent over, tail raised, naked, looking back at the camera, my face warped. Dark holes bloom over the eyes, then all over the image, like it's burning. A tarantula crawls up over the foot of the bed and starts making its way towards me. I gasp through my nose since I can't open my mouth, my heart beating so fast I think it's shaking the bed. My fingers wiggle as I try to yank myself awake, the massive spider only moving closer as it crawls over my foot and onto my leg. The weight of the spider is real. The way it's disheveling my shirt as it crawls onto my stomach is real. This is real! No, it's not real. I've had this happen before. It started happening when I took the night shift at the grocery store next to campus. Very common, very normal. People have it happen all the time. It's just... I'll just close my eyes and wait it out. I do that, squeezing them shut and as tight as I can, trying to find comfort in Leo's presence next to me, his arms still under my head. I feel the spider on my chest. Its weight so much more than it should be, but it stops there. It doesn't approach my face. But then I feel something else, another presence. It's coming from the right side wall, where the window is. Something's looking through it at me. I know it. I'm not opening my eyes, though. I know if I do, I'll see something that will freak me out, and the spider's bad enough. I hear tapping. Whatever it is tapping at the glass and wanting my attention. I know it's there. What it knows, I know it's there. That's what that says. And it wants me to see it. Oh, here, that looks a little loud on the levels. The spoopy music is loud, you know. What the fuck? This is lasting way longer than it should be. What if I'm stuck? Am I stuck? Am I going to be stuck in a twisted Leo's spider room dimension for the rest of my fucking life? He's mine. My eyes fly open, already pointed towards the window, bracing myself. But it's empty. The sky's tinged red from the sunset, and so is the room. My dreaming brain exaggerated it to look like a color of blood. That's fine. What? That scene is actually nightmare fuel? God damn it. Is it fuel or fun? can't actually read the last word. I think I'm going to say that that's nightmare fun. That is what Cirrus just said. That's what I'm going to believe in my heart of hearts. But yeah, it's with the color of blood. Yes, the spider's gone, and the angry presence is too. I sit up slowly and rub my face, exhausted, even though I'd just slept. With the humidifier blowing right at my face, I can feel the tiny droplets of water that collected on my waterproof nose. It'd be impossible to fall asleep again after that, not only because of how brutal that sleep paralysis was, but because I still don't feel right. It's still Tuesday, right? We just kind of napped? It's Tuesday. Okay. While the spider and the thing in my room were gone, my room? You mean Leo's room? The other thing outside the window, I feel like it's still there. I look out the window again and see nothing, but still, I can't shake the feeling like I'm being watched. Oh, now it's Wednesday. Okay. Okay. Wednesday. Wednesday, good. I stare out the window as we roll down the dusty streets of Echo. Every road, every corner, every trailer, and every tree has a memory attached to it. There, in the middle of the dusty parking lot that belonged to the corner market, is a tiny stand. That used to be where I'd get ice cream after begging for $1 from my parents. It's crumbled and boarded up now, the paint peeling off in tiny chips. And there in front of Duke's house is a big fat rock. Flat rock that Jenna was standing on when she told me she was going to run away from home. I can still remember almost exactly how she was silhouetted against the red sunset behind her. And the old train yard where in the middle of summer, Leo kissed me for the first time while I was sweating buckets under the noon sun. Fuck! That's still a good scene, though. That's still a good scene! Is it self-indulgent for me to like that? Yes, I don't care. He didn't seem to care, though. I look over at Leo. He's got one hand on the wheel, glancing up to the rearview mirror occasionally to trade jabs with Flynn. Logan's fine. I'm regretting not letting him know we're coming. You know, you'll be lucky he even gets his ass out of bed. We'll call him, then. And what if he doesn't answer? Leo doesn't say anything, instead focusing back on the road, and TJ filled the silence after a while. Pretentious little shit. Look. He's just like me for real. It's all good. Leo doesn't say anything, instead focusing back on the road. TJ fills the silence after a while. Well, I don't think it's too weird. It's just like we're hanging out again. Nothing wrong with that. Sure, but making it about Carl is just weird. Maybe if his birthday was, like, next week. 2 weeks tops. Oh, hush, Flynn. It'll be just like we're hanging out. Your acting weird about it isn't going to help anything. The car starts slowing down, and I snap out of my daydreaming to look up, knowing we definitely weren't at Carl's house yet. And that's when I see a round canine figure standing further up on the side of the road. She's standing in the dirt that separates the road and the field in front of a broken and rusted barbed wire fence. I think that's Janice. I look over at Leo, and he seems concerned, his brow furrowed as he careful steers. Yes, the car right up next to the coyote. I can see why. She's crouched over, elbows on her knees, staring at the ground. Roll down your window, Chase. I do as he says, struggling a little with the old crank handle. The hell is she doing out here? We come out of the Wait, we come to a stop next to the coyote, kicking up some dust. I don't know. Hey! Leo leans over me and smiles out at Janice, who's still looking at the ground. Everything all... Leo's voice cuts off in a weird choking sound. I look at him confused, then look back to the window, and I can't help myself, but I gasp. It was hard to tell from the angle, and all of the dust kicking up from the van, but now I can see that Janice has her pants down around her thighs. About her thighs. Ian, terrible. I can also see everything else. I sit back quickly and avert my eyes, looking out the windshield instead. What the fuck? Oh my god, Leo, keep going. Jenna whispers it, her voice strained. Oh, sorry, Leo stops talking, and I chance a glance out the window again. Janice is looking at us now, and she's smiling. It's a weird smile, because it isn't touching her eyes. It's unnerving. Leo stares back. Leo, let's just go. I hiss out the side of my mouth, staring out the window shield again. He seems reluctant to, though, looking concerned. Janice, do you need some help? His tone is one you might use on a toddler or a crazy person. I don't hear her say anything, except maybe a grunt. Leo bravely keeps trying, though. No, we can give you a ride. Leo stops talking in time for me to hear a patter sound, a sound I recognize well from my time as a kid pissing on the side of the road. The van lurches forward, then resumes a smoother acceleration back onto the road. Holy shit, what the fuck was that? I don't. Leo frowns, looking as confused as I've ever seen him. Should I go back? No! I look back and see TJ covering his face. Maybe she could have been having some kind of psychotic episode. Or maybe she just had to piss. No, I don't think so. Did you see the way she looked at me? She was probably just on something. Isn't everyone? No, she doesn't do that stuff like that. Well, maybe she does. You never know with people. She's just frying chicken out there? Oh my god. Seriously though, you piss real loud. I think that's pretty cool. That's like the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, it's you piss loud as fuck, right? Okay, that was the line. Leo doesn't say anything, and neither does anyone else. We don't go back. Like, they could have used, like, a daytime version of the background from Route 65 here. Like, I don't know. It's odd. Like, knowing that they have that one background that is used in one scene, it's just a little odd to me, you know? It's just a little bit odd. I fucking told you. Leo stabs the doorbell again, frustration etched across his face. I shift the bag I'm carrying around in my paws, trying to look through the frosted glass on the sides of the door. Maybe he's getting high. Why don't they just call the cops? This is Echo, Cirrus. If I remember right, they actually don't have like a... Like, the cops are from Peyton, right? Like, that was like a plot point in one route where they try to call the cops, but they have to call the cops from Peyton and to drive over here, right? Wasn't that a thing? I think that was a thing. He should still be able to hear. I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to. TJ holds up his phone. He's not answering his phone either. Good. Leo knocks on the door hard, his biceps bulging, because of course we're staring at that. Gives such weird vibes. It kind of do. I feel like we're in front of a garage. Like, this is like the garage attachment to the mansion, if you know what I mean. Well, I guess breaking the door might get us inside. Leo stands back, paws on his waist, as he takes a deep breath. He's determined. And I guess he should be considering he set all of this up. We should have just told him to meet up at the diner or something. Do they lock the windows? What? Leo growls. It's not like we're breaking in. TJ's ears pin back, a frown on his face. And the wolf puts a paw on his forehead, closing his eyes. Sorry, but I think he's just asleep, and it shouldn't be too hard to just get in there and wake him up. I look over at the side of the house and see a window well. I point at it. What about that? Too small. I could probably fit. She hops off the front porch and crouches down next to the window, pushing at it. Wait, there's a security sticker here. Well, you gotta arm it first, and Carl's such a lazy ass. I know he didn't. Besides, if we set it off, we can just run. It's not like they'll show up anytime soon. Or instead of acting like criminals, we can just stay until the cops show up. She knows us. Jenna hesitates, and then pushes at the window again, but it doesn't budge. Locked. Let's try the one above it. That's too high. I'll boost you up. I think this is going a bit too far. Leo ignores him, as we all should, and stands next to the window before making a platform for Jenna's foot with his paws. Steadying himself with his paws against the wall of the house, Leo easily lifts Jenna, and she manages to grab the ledge. Fucking hell. This is fucking stupid. Flynn mutters next to me, but I make a point and not looking over at him. I feel for Leo. He worked hard to make this happen, and everyone is giving him a hard time over it. Jenna pushes against the window, and it glides open easily. Yes. Now I'm gonna boost you all the way up. Hold on. Careful. Like they're some kind of cheerleading duo, Leo shoves Jenna all the way with one paw, and she disappears through the window. Her tail brushes her bush tail is the last thing we see until she pokes her head back through. Kitchen. I fell in the sink. Great. Now unlock the door. It's a good thing that Carl doesn't leave dishes in the sink, right? He probably just does takeout for everything, I assume. Or he just starves to death and just eats what Flynn brings him. You know, that's another thing. She disappears again, and we make our way back to the front door. Leo, you're fucking crazy. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, Flynn, I'll kick you right in your vagina. Sound good? Jesus, calm yourself. Leo turns on him, one foot in front of the other. Flynn shuts up, then, and me and TJ are left to shift around uncomfortably on the porch. Finally, we hear the door rattling and it opens. I called his name, but he didn't answer. Well, he's gotta be here. It's not like he can go anywhere or would want to. Oh my god, Leo, chill again. No! He's angry. He needs to, it's fine. He just needs to, release that energy, as it were. He's trying his best, and everyone's giving him a hard time for it, right? We could stand to treat Leo a little bit better, right? Maybe give him a little hug. That would make him feel better, probably. Carl's house is excuse me, is as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It is a mansion after all. There are a few bowls and wrappers lying around on the marble countertop. I assume that's because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl! I set the bag down on the table, and TJ sets the cake there too. I look over at him. You alright? Yeah, why? Just asking. How was your hike with Jenna? Alright. Wish you were there, though. Yeah, me too. I might go again in a day or two, if you'd like. Sure, why not? I promised myself that I promised myself that wasn't an empty promise. Okay. Well, he's not in his room. Flynn's actually looking a little worried now. Maybe he went for a walk. Carl, walking in this weather? Hell no. Does he have other friends? Maybe he went out somewhere. I don't think so. Well, let's do a sweep of the house. It's a big place. Flynn heads back upstairs, and Leo heads for the downstairs with Jenna. TJ looks around the kitchen, then moves over to the living room, checking the couches. I decide to head out back, if not just to get away from the others, since things feel unusually tense between us today. As I step out into the backyard, I'm a little surprised. It's different from when I was last here. The playset is gone, and so is the massive trampoline they used to have. The biggest shock, though, is seeing that the huge treehouse that used to sit on the old oak tree is gone. I stand there for a moment, feeling a vague sense of loss. I have too many good memories of that place. Time moves too fucking fast. After a while, I remember why I'm here and look around again. No Carl, of course, but I start walking around anyway, looking behind bushes full of ticks, even though I know it's stupid. While I felt for Leo, I could still see where Flynn was coming from. It would have been a better way to warn Carl, or just meet up somewhere else. Leo gets carried away a little when he has his heart set on something. He probably has the whole scene planned out in his head before we even got here. Mostly I just feel really bad for him. He's been working really hard to make this trip interesting for all of us. I think it's our fault more than anything. More than anything that nothing's working out. See, it's not Leo's fault. He's a good boy trying his best. Excuse me. Flynn's a dick, Carl doesn't care, Jenna's also kind of being a dick, and TJ's always into stuff that none of us are. And I'm just boring. As I round the corner of the house, I'm surprised to see Flynn standing there. He must have come out in the front door. Oh, hey Flynn, I thought you went upstairs. Flynn doesn't seem surprised at all to find me out here, which makes me think that he was looking for me. I did. Wasn't there, so I thought I'd look outside. Oh, well, he's not in the back, so... I don't know why, but Flynn is making me feel awkward as hell. Is something wrong? Flynn folds his arms and leans up against the house. Well, Carl's missing, so I guess that's a problem, huh? Oh, yeah. I try to think of something to say. Well, I'm sure he's, just hiding somewhere, or maybe he's out at the diner. Probably just got tired of being stuck in his own house. Yeah. He straightens up again and steps forward, and I don't know why, but I take a step back. You were hanging out with Leo yesterday, right? Yeah. For a little while. You spent the night there. I pause for a second to give him the hint that I'm not exactly okay with him prying like this, but I answer anyway. No, I got back to the motel at, 3. Huh. Yeah. I start to turn back around. Hey, why don't we check the basement? Chase. He's got that same tone as a disappointed parent, and that kind of pisses me off. Look, Flynn, let me make mistakes. It might not be a problem, right? It could work out. It could be fine. It's fine. I turn back around. What? Imagine that's the tone. No, Ian, it's fine. It's fine. See, Crush Cat knows. It's fine. What? You realize what you're doing is stupid, right? Right. Excuse me? Getting back with him during fucking spring break. Pretty stupid, right? I had a feeling that that's where this was going, and now that I know for sure, I'm definitely pissed off now. How is that any of your business? How is it not? You two seem pretty okay with making it our business, right? No. He sneers at me. Cuddling up at the lake where a friend fucking died is pretty messed up, isn't it? What? I saw you two. You know I did. So what? What does that have to do with Sydney? I guess I just find it weird that you'd start up your old flame on what's practically a grave. What the hell are you talking about? Feelings changed from anger to bewilderment. I did know what he was talking about. I just didn't know why. Well, since it's all out in the open now, why not talk about it? You're the one that put it out in the open. In the worst way possible, by the way. His sneer disappears. I just don't get why you're connecting those two things. We weren't even talking about Sydney. How? What else does that lake make you think of? I'm at a loss for words, totally confused. This is Flynn. I never talked about Sydney with him after it happened. I was too scared to. Well, I don't think of it as his grave or anything. Oh, really? It's just a fucking lake to you, then? He didn't die there, Flynn. It was at the hospital. It might as well have been there, right? I swallow hard, wanting desperately to get back inside. Let's not talk about this right now. Oh, I guess I was confused. Everyone's been telling me that I need to talk about it. Well, not like this. Not just me here. We should all be together if we want to talk about this. I turn again, making it clear that I'm leaving. Wait. The change of tone in his voice makes me turn around again. It's softer, almost pleading. I'm not used to hearing Flynn talk like this. I'm just trying to look out for you, Chase. He's not... I feel some of that anger returning. He's not what? He's not exactly a stable guy, is he? I laugh. And you are? Avoiding the question, Chase. I see. He is just like me, for real. He dips his head, and I can tell he's embarrassed, even though he doesn't have the ears to tell me so. And not just you, all of us. We're all a little fucking crazy, aren't we? Flynn smiles a little bit. Well, that's what happens when you live in Echo. That's what all the kids at school said. Flynn frowns again. Listen, I'm just looking out for you. He's just... I sigh loudly and cover my face with a paw for a second. I was hoping I'd be able to change the subject, but now we're back to Leo. I'm surprised when I lower my paw and Flynn is just a few feet away. Flynn, just drop it. It's none of your business. His gaze hardens. I think it is when I see a friend taking advantage of another friend. Taking advantage of me? Yeah. Has been since you were fucking 15. I immediately know what he's implying. Fuck off, Flynn. You're acting like my fucking parent. He takes another step forward and I back away. But he angles. Yes, it's so that I'm pressed up against the wall. House. I get the urge to run away, but it feels like doing that will only affirm how much this has escalated. There's a change in him as well, something unfamiliar in his eyes, in his stance, in his voice even. He leans down to my height. Like playing with fire, huh? You've seen it in his eyes. He's fucking crazy. He pokes me in the chest to emphasize his point. Crazy? Kind of like you are now? Flynn pulls away, straightening his back, but still looking down at me. Yeah, maybe I am. The awkward silence stretches out. It seems to go on and on until... You know what? I think... Chase! Flynn is right about Leo, though. Look. So Flynn's not wrong. But I don't want him to be right. So I'm still gonna get together with Leo. If I just stay by Leo's side, right? Everything will be fine. It's fine. Both of our muzzles flick in the direction of Leo's voice. Mine to the right, Flynn's to his left. Leo stands there, ears perked forward, though his expression seems neutral. I wonder how long he's been standing there. I can tell Flynn's wondering the same thing. Any sign of him? No. I slide out from under Flynn, making my way towards Leo. I checked the back, but I didn't see him anywhere. Leo doesn't even look at me, staring over the top of my head. I look and see Flynn staring right back, his shoulders still tense. And that's when I feel Leo's heavy, strong arm drape over my shoulder. Flynn's eyes narrow. Let's get back inside, then. As Leo leads me away, I get the feeling that he's still staring Flynn down, even though I don't look up to check. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, he's protective, guys. He's just a little protective. It's no worries. I'm getting worried. No shit. Carl doesn't just disappear from his house like this. He doesn't have anywhere to go. Calm down. He could be anywhere. He has more friends than just us. The fact that he isn't answering his phone is kind of fucking suspicious. Leo holds up his paw. You know he forgets to charge his phone sometimes. Flynn's getting more and more frustrated, starting to pace around the living room. He never goes out with other friends. That's the problem. Listen, maybe we should just wait. You all can wait here. I'm gonna find him. Flynn makes for the front door, and before anyone can say anything, it's slamming shut behind him. We sit in silence for a while, staring at the door that Flynn just took off through. I mean, I feel like I would have a slice of cake at this point, right? How about any of you? Like, in this situation, would you just, like, grab a slice of cake? It's there. And you're probably not having the party at this very moment, right? Like, it's a perfectly good cake. Leo lets out his breath out in a long sigh, rubbing his face. All right, let's think. Where else does Carl have to go? The comic book shop? Leo looks at me for a second. Maybe if someone else gave him a ride, but like Flynn said, does he have anyone else to do that for him? I wouldn't, unless someone else does it first. Cirrus! You gotta be the first one. You gotta take the initiative, you know. Otherwise, that cake isn't being eaten. Because you know that these losers, right, would just be like, oh, but we need to wait for Carl. And I'd be like, fuck off, it's not his birthday. And just... and grab a slice. I'd raid his freezer, get some ice cream along with it. Well, if you guys are going to do that, then I'll probably stay here in case he comes back. Yeah, and we can keep looking. Sounds good. Leo pulls his keys out of his pocket, then looks back at me. Coming with me, Chase. Yeah, always. I follow Leo out the door, actually starting to feel worried about Carl. Man, you know that Jenna volunteered to stay at the house just so she can have, like, the good air conditioning, and probably for the cake. She's thinking big brain here. We walk around the mall for about an hour, checking the food court and every shop we pass. It's clear that this idea was pretty hopeless from the beginning. Jenna lets us know that Carl hasn't shown up at the house either, and that they're heading back to the motel. Finally, Leo and I call it quits and head back to his house before walking to the diner for dinner. Good. Good. So, where do you think he went? Leo's hunched over, an elbow on the table, and his chin in his paw, staring out the window. Dunno. Do you think we should call someone? Like the cops? Not yet. He's an adult, so they won't really look into it until it's been days. We should probably call his parents, though, if he doesn't show up by tonight. I don't say anything, stirring my milkshake around. You know, I think it's been multiple years since I've had a milkshake. Huh. That's not a thing I order. I'm always with people that order milkshakes, and I always think like, maybe next time. Because, you know, it's kind of fun. But I never do it. I don't know. Maybe I should take the initiative next time. Maybe I should just order a milkshake the next time I go to, like, a dinery place. I glance back over towards the kitchen area, watching a very tired-looking Janice gather up plates before taking them to the back. I was pretty much mortified when I realized she was here and about to take our order, mostly just because I was embarrassed for her. Milkshakes are busted. Yeah, I usually just, like... Usually when I, like, go to a restaurant with, like, friends and things, like, I usually give myself a very tight budget, you know? And, like, milkshakes are expensive, like, at those places. They're like, here, it's like $7 or something, and I'm like, okay. That's, like, almost half the price of a meal here. Like, fuck. It's so annoying. She didn't really say anything, though, just took our orders and left. I examined my milkshake closely, though, for what I'm not sure. I'm not too worried, though. He's been under a lot of stress and probably just wants to leave town for a while. But would he do that with... who would he do that with, and why wouldn't he tell us? Leo sips on his milkshake, and I wait for him to finish. I guess he really has changed. Yeah? I rest my chin in my palm, meeting his eyes so he knows I'm listening. I mean, the way Flynn was acting all day, he really can't stand us anymore. Carl probably just feels the same way. Steak and Shake? Oh, yeah. I've heard of those places. But there isn't one, like, near me. And, like, there's a town that has a Steak and Shake, like, a little more than an hour from here. But it's in a weird part of that town. And it's like, oh, that's an extra, like, 20-minute drive from that town to get to the Steak and Shake. So I've never gone. Never been to one of those places. Oh well. You know, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I don't think so. Flynn's usually been that way, right? Not like that. Like the way he was talking to you earlier. So he did hear. Guess you were right. I should have just left shit alone. We all used to fit together so well, and now we've all changed, and it's like we're bending ourselves to fit again. I guess that's just life, right? Leo grunts and starts keep staring out the window. It's clear how much he wants this all to work out, to give us the opportunity for one last hurrah before we separate for good. Never do the drive-thru, dine in every time. Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Like, it just... I mean, Leo clearly, like, he's okay with everyone else separating, but it does feel like, oh no, he's gonna keep Chase. Like, everyone else is going to separate, but he'll take Chase, right? That's the plan. That was the Grandmaster plan for Leo here, and I'd let him. And now I'm actually pretty angry at myself and the others. This is our last chance to really say our goodbyes, and it's like we don't really care at all. Jenna and TJ are off doing their own thing. Carl's getting lost and probably high. And Flynn's being Flynn. I lean forward, then grinning. You know, I'm really happy you planned this all. Slowly, Leo shifts his attention from the sunset to my face. I smile widely for him. This is the most fun I've had all year, even though everyone's acting like a dick. I dip my head self-consciously. Including me, I know. But this whole thing has reminded me a lot of the good things in this town. And even though things have been kind of shitty, I think it's a good note to leave off on. Leo raises a brow. Because weren't things always shitty? It's part of the experience. Ah, the Echo experience. Leo stares at me for a long time, and I feel my grin start to fade. But then he reaches forward and rubs a thumb up my nose. I blink in surprise, and he shows me the smear of white on his thumb pad. Sorry, it's hard to take you seriously looking like a cokehead. He grins and licks his thumb. I blush and grab a napkin to wipe my face, but Leo rests a paw on my arm. But seriously, thanks. For trying at least. Leo looks like he's about to say something else, hesitates, then opens his muzzle again. Cute. Leo and I look up to find a lanky, patchy, ugly, ring-tailed cat staring down at us with beady black eyes. I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of other people in here trying to enjoy their meal. Clint puts a paw down on the edge of the table, leaning in. Could you try not to ruin it for us? He grins at me, showing me just how many teeth he's missing. He's just graduated from huffing paint since the last time I saw him. The hell are you doing here, Chase? Didn't you dump his fat ass? No, his ass do be a little fat. I grimace. I can't tell if he's joking or not, or if he's still the same asshole that I remember him as. I haven't talked to him in years. Well, it kind of looks like you dumped your own ass, Clint. What happened to you? I can see Clint's brain work as he digests what I said, deciding whether or not he should be offended. Is simpable if he cleaned up a bit? You're not wrong. I think that way about Jeremy more, though. I think Jeremy's a little cuter. I think Jeremy's like a little more like with it, you know? It's good. I can also see his tail twitching behind him, and it's patchy too, leaving some part of it bald like a rat's tail. Actually, Clint, you're right. We're all trying to eat, and there's a smelly, ugly ring-tailed skeleton ruining it for us. Clint flicks his attention from me to Leo, who smiles sweetly at him. Mind doing us all a favor and getting the fuck out? Clint leans in low to the table, putting his face up next to Leo's. Leo keeps a straight face, and I'm impressed because I can smell the stench of Clint's breath even from here. Think you're funny, Beaner? It's Spick. If you're trying to make me mad, you might as well do it right, huh? Leo takes a sip from his milkshake nonchalantly while Clint gapes at him. His brain, which I imagine is Swiss cheese at this point, tries to come up with some kind of retort. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Well, I'd tell you to do the same, but you've got a sister at home, don't you? Oh my god. Clint moves fast, swinging a fist up and around Leo's jaw, towards Chilo's jaw. Leo's ready for him and lunges to the side, though his fist still glances the side of his face. Good. He grabs Clint's arm and yanks him down onto the table, which knocks over a milkshake and sends it splashing into my lap. I gasp and stand up and make to the side of the table where Leo starts to rub Clint's face into the mess, smashing it into the table a few times. Stop it! I jump as Janice shouts right next to me. Leo hears her too and turns around while still holding Clint down. The dead look is still in her eyes, and the fur on her face is matted, like she's been crying a lot, but hasn't washed since. I am not going to deal with this today, Leo. You know Clint started it. Leo's ears are flat as he looks back at Janice, clearly thrown off. Underneath him, Clint snarls and thrashes. Am I gonna have to get the taser from the back? Slowly, Leo backs off of Clint, who immediately shoves himself off the table. I can see Leo preparing himself to chase Clint in case Clint takes another swing, but he doesn't even look at him. His already dirty tank top, smeared brown from the milkshake, he stumbles to the door and disappears outside. And clean that fucking mess before you leave. So it was a chocolate milkshake. What kind of milkshake flavors do you all normally get? I feel like I tend to just go for like the Oreo or mint or something like that. I never just get like a chocolate milkshake. That's not usually like my mind doesn't immediately go there, I guess. I don't know. Of course he would be strawberry for you. Of course. With that, the old coyote turns and stalks off to the back. You're good, Selkie. You're fine. Oh. She leaves me and Leo to stare at each other before we ruefully wipe up the spilled milkshake with brown napkins. There are only two other patrons of the diner with us, a skunk and a jackrabbit. But I can feel their eyes on us the whole time, and it only adds to the embarrassment. What do you think her problem is? I ask Leo under my breath as we come back from tossing the ball of wet napkins into the trash can. He just shrugs, though, and I follow him quietly out the diner into the late afternoon light outside. We walk in silence for a while, with me walking awkwardly because my soaked and sticky pants are incredibly uncomfortable on my thighs. We stop at the motel while I change and shower before grabbing a fresh change of clothes, then we start back out again. But was Jenna and No, TJ is doing other things? Jenna's at Carl's house. Where's TJ? What's TJ doing? Is he gaslighting and gatekeeping people like he normally does? Probably. I think about staying behind at the motel, but I feel like that would be a dick move after what Leo's been through today. As we walk back to Leo takes a detour, stopping at a convenience store. He's crying somewhere. The fight had made things a little awkward between us, so I just shove my paws into my pockets and follow Leo. We go to the back where he grabs a 12-pack. He doesn't say anything to me, to me either, as he makes his way to the front to pay. Finally, when we're back outside, he nudges me in the direction behind the convenience store. Let's sit. I lead the way because we've both done this dozens of times before. We step off the asphalt and down a little ways into the brush where Leo pulls me up onto the boulder. Leo sighs, pulling out the first can of beer. The first bottle, sorry. Leans back. He pulls out his keys and uses the bottle opener on his keychain before handing it over to me. He does the same for himself, then practically chugs the whole thing before grabbing another, even before I'm able to take my first swig. The amount he drinks is concerning. Look. It's probably fine. It's not, but it's probably fine. I don't comment on it, and instead look out at the sunset, thinking about how nice it would be to just sort of run off into the wilderness. At least for a little while. I lean back and sigh, noticing a white and brown splotch on the neon Leo's jacket. Not jacket, his jeans. What you said to Clint, that was pretty mean. He said some pretty mean stuff too, and it's not like I like saying that shit to him. Seeing me lying back, Leo shifts closer to me, allowing me to rest my head against his thigh. Again, the familiar position probably isn't a good idea, but I just don't care. So does Clint still live with his dad? No. He went to prison 2 years ago. Really? Because of... Yeah. Shit. We sit in silence, enjoying our quiet surroundings. As I lay there, I hear Leo open another bottle, then another. Finally, he lets out a big sigh. Chase, come back to Echo. I close my eyes, turning my vision blood red against the sunset. Maybe, just not yet. He doesn't press the issue, instead reaching out for another bottle. By the time I get to my second one, the rest are gone. I mean, That definitely isn't no. So we are giving Leo like bad hope, you know? He's I mean, but I'd probably do the same. Yeah. As we walk back to the to Leo's house in silence, he occasionally brushes his tail up against mine. I let him. He's mildly drunk, so he's sort of excused for now. I do have to push his muzzle away from when he leans up against me for some support after his feet hit a sudden dip in the road. Eh? Okay. I'm busy trying to steady him when I hear footsteps pounding up behind us. Before I know it, Leo shoved me hard to the side, and I go stumbling into the weeds, full of ticks. Whirling around, I see a dark figure running off to the side of Leo. His attack aborted as he saw the wolf had seen him. He comes back around, and I immediately see that it's Clint, and he's got a crowbar in one paw. My stomach drops as I look for him to. I look from him to Leo. As I look from him to Leo, yes, who's got a giant smile on his face, like this is exactly what he wanted to happen. What the hell? Come back for more, Clint. Clint doesn't say anything. Instead, he just screams and runs at Leo again. See, it would have been a really I mean, wouldn't it have just been a time if Leo just pulls out the gun and shoots him? Wouldn't that have been a time? Big flex if that would have happened. Clint doesn't say anything. Instead, he just screams and runs at Leo again. Usually, I wouldn't be worried about Leo in a fight with Clint, but the crowbar and the fact that Leo can barely stand and has me really worried. Leo backpedals, then ducks low and lunges forward, which I don't think Clint expects. His grunt is guttural, but to my surprise, he doesn't go down. Instead, he grips the back of Leo's shirt before raising the crowbar and bringing it down hard into Leo's back with a solid, meaty thud. I gasp and cringe, starting to jog towards them. Clint presses forward, and Leo trips over something, landing on his butt. Clint raises the crowbar again, and Leo raises a paw. For about 2 seconds, they play a game with Leo moving his paw around above his head, anticipating the swing. Clint, meanwhile, keeps trying to re-angle the crowbar so that Leo will miss. He doesn't get a chance, though, because that's when I reach them. I'm not exactly a good fighter, considering I've never been in a fight before. But the idea of Leo getting his face beaten in with a crowbar provides me with a terror that spurs me on. I jump on his back, grab a handful of the fur on his forehead, and yank back as hard as I can. I guess I should have hit him, and something, but it seems to work all right. His remaining teeth flash in the porch light, and I get a hot blast of the rancid breath that he's snarling as he snarls angrily. Suddenly, I'm sitting back on the asphalt, feeling like my forehead had just caved in. He must have somehow swung the crowbar back and it hit me. I desperately rub it in my head, imagining the skull shattered into a million pieces like an egg, but everything feels like it's still in shape. The fight's still going on, and now I can hear Leo snarling. It's not a sound that I've heard that often, but it's deep and way scarier than anything Clint would have managed. I try to focus on the spot that I see their bodies tangled together. When I do, I see that Clint's on top again, the crowbar raised, pointy end down, aimed at Leo's face. I start to crawl towards them, but there's no way I'm gonna make it. Again, the sound of something hard strikes flesh, but this time it isn't Clint's hitting Leo. Excuse me. It's Clint that hisses in pain this time as he arches? Oh, no, arches? Yes. Word? There is an R there. arches back, baring his fangs. There's a dark shape behind him, but before I can focus on it, Leo's massive paw smashes into the side of Clint's face. Leo's not playing this time. In fact, it looks like he puts everything he had into that punch, and the sound it makes is like a slab of beef being thrown against concrete. Clint's body visibly goes slack before he slumps down against Leo, only to be shoved roughly to the side. I crawl up next to the wolf, and he looks over at me as I do. His paw immediately goes to my head and to steady it as he looks closer at my face. Fuck, did he hit you? And that's when I realize that I have a massive headache and feels like it's full of water. That's what that says. I rub a spot that itches and a bit right above my eyebrow, and my pads come away. It's slightly dark and bloody. That fucking piece of shit! Leo sends a back fist into the side of the down Clint's face. Hey, that's enough, Leo! And that's when I remember that it was someone else that actually saved Leo. The voice is familiar, but it isn't until I look up at the source that I recognize Kudzu. He's breathing hard, and he's holding the crowbar that Clint dropped. The dark spot around his eyes blend in with the night and accentuate how wide his eyes actually are. He looks spooked. What the hell are you guys doing? He sounds pissed, and I feel a little defensive. Hey, he tried to run up on us. Wait, he tried to run up on... Okay. Kudzu's eyes flick over to look at me before focusing back on Leo. I thought we had this shit figured out. Why the hell are you fighting again? I don't really get why this Kudzu guy is freaking out so much. His nostrils flare in with each breath. Well, obviously, this is a common occurrence, Cheisu. You'd think he was the one that almost got his brains run through with a crowbar. Calm the fuck down. You know how Clint is. He wouldn't have done half that crap he does if you don't antagonize him so much. If you didn't antagonize him so much. You say he was a bully, but from what I've seen, it's the reverse. It's hard to think of Leo as a bully, but the way he acted towards Clint in the diner was a bit much, even if it was Clint. Hey, if he can't take it, then maybe he shouldn't dish it out. Leo grins and sticks out a paw to Kudzu, who glares but nevertheless reaches down to help him up. Leo promptly pulls me up with him. As I get to my feet, a wave of dizziness instantly hits me, and I stumble into Leo. Fuck, see? Leo steadies me, and looks into my eyes. Worry etches all over his face. I'm fine. Just got dizzy for a sec. That's not fine. Do you feel sick? Can you see straight? Seriously, I'm fine. Just give me a minute. I'm going to kill that hick when he wakes up. At that moment, Clint makes a snorting sound and starts to roll over. Leo's eyes flash to where he's laying, but Kudzu steps up between the two, still glaring. No, get the fuck back home and take care of the otter. I'm gonna see if I can keep him from trying to kill you later on down the road. A fat chance. He's been wanting to kill me since middle school. Clint starts to sit up, supporting himself with both paws as he looks around. Go. Whatever. Leo turns back to me, and his eyes soften as he puts an arm around my shoulder. Come on, we might need to go to the hospital. I'm fine, really. The low tones of Kudzu's voice murmuring to Clint fades off as we stumble into the night. No, you're not fine. He hit you fucking hard. God damn it, that fucking idiot. He could have killed you. I put a paw back to the sore on my head. Yeah, my forehead, and rub at it. Leo grabs my wrist. Don't do that. You'll infect it. We'll clean it up back in my place. Swear to God, I'm not gonna leave my house without my gun again. Suddenly, Leo's face turns on an odd look. One sec. He makes as if he steadies me with both paws, then stumbles off to the side of the road. It's dark and I can't see him, but I'm sure as hell can hear a retch followed by a splash. This happens about 3 more times before Leo shakily but more steadily approaches me from the darkness and sheepishly grins on his face with a sheepish grin on his face. You okay? Yeah. Just had a little too much. Really, the Leo I knew could down 15 cans and still walk. Hey, rolling around with a lazy, long tail, sitting on you, won't do your gut any favors. Huh, sure. Leo chuckles and wraps an arm around me again, though this one feels more intimate rather than just sitting there to keep me steady. We walk in silence for a while, just enjoying the evening air. The temperature is always perfect here when the sun's down. It gets me more annoyed though, because I can imagine we'd have had a much better time if Clint hadn't just tried to murder us. At least that's what I imagine he was trying to do, since hitting someone with a crowbar isn't exactly fucking around. Has it really gotten this bad between you and Clint? Leo squeezes me. It's always been this way. It looks like he was trying to kill you. Well, the gringo really hates me. Leo laughs, then falls silent for a while, ears pinned back. I guess he was angrier than usual. I think it's just that. I might have pissed him off more than I usually do. I look up at him. About that, what you said to him back at the diner was really awful. You too? How can he expect not to get hit with that if he's going off about us, and me being a spick? Leo barks out a laugh. Talk shit, get hit, I always say. Excuse me. I don't know, man. What his dad did is different. It's not his fault, you know. Yeah. Hey. He might be fucked up, but he can still make the decision to be a complete dick to everyone, can't he? I wish Jenna were here to help me back me up on how this isn't exactly fair to Clint. Anyway, I think he was on something. Did you see how crazy he looked? He's always on something. And speaking of which, Leo steps out slowly, and I look around to see an isolated house further up the road. The porch light is on, and I see a skinny figure get out of his chair and start walking up to the front yard. It's clear he means to intercept us, and I slow down with Leo as he draws closer. Duke? Leo nods at him. The skinny weasel looks us both up and down, raising up a paw to pull a drag from what looks like a cigarette. I assume it's actually a blunt because it smells like Carl. He's as patchy and unhealthy looking as I remember him. Not as torn up as Clint, but still bad enough to know he's done his fair share of dabbling in meth. He doesn't say anything after a while, Leo clears his throat. Isn't it a nice... He's here. As the Duke cuts Leo off, he stares right at me, so I assume it's me he's talking about. Hi, Duke. I probably couldn't have said any more awkwardly. Leo steps forward, partially in front of me. Did you need something? Luke lets out a long stream of smoke towards us. Definitely a blunt. Same shit's been happening to me after you told me about it. Leo looks at him, looking politely puzzled, though I can see his tail twitching behind him. You been seeing shit? Now I'm seeing shit. It's quiet for a few seconds, then Leo laughs. Huh. Well, maybe lay off the drugs, Cocktail. No, it's different. The shit I see. Almost real. I saw him. He nods at me again, and for some reason I'm starting to feel really uncomfortable. Leo laughs this time. It's much more focused. He starts pushing me along rather than further up the street. Sorry, Duke, but Chase is taken. Janice is still single, though. Duke follows us along, walking along the dirt while we stay on the asphalt. When did he get here? Leo doesn't say anything and keeps pushing me along. I can see Duke getting angrier, and I don't want another fight, so I finally butt in. I got here on Saturday. Is something wrong, Duke? Duke doesn't answer. He just stops and watches us go. A frown stretches across his face. I keep on looking over my shoulder at him, but he doesn't move, and he doesn't take his eyes off us. What the fuck? Stop looking at him, Chase. What was he talking about? Doesn't matter. Just keep moving, and hope we don't run into any more of these psychos. I manage not to look back again, but I feel his eyes on me. Yeah, on the back of my neck the entire time. Okay. Even though the instructions say only to take 2, Leo gives me 3 generic acetaminophen pills. After that, he takes me to the bathroom and starts cleaning the cut on my forehead. I grimace against the sting of the rubbing alcohol. We really should take you to the ER. This might even need stitches. I lean my head into his paws because not having it hold it up myself feels good. No, it's not that bad. Besides, even if it is a concussion, they'll just send me home and tell me to get some rest, along with a $500 bill. I played football, I know, but you never know how serious it can be. I sigh and don't say anything, deciding it would be easier just not to argue. Leo starts to debate whether or not to shave the fur, but I finally get annoyed and tell him to get on with it. As he prods around, I can feel the area around the cut swelling, and I wonder if I'm gonna get a black eye. Leo finally steps back and starts putting everything back into the first aid kit. Wait. Leo glances at me questioningly. Aren't you hurt? He thinks for a second. I don't think so. I feel fine. I mean... Turn around. I'd seen Clint hit Leo with a crowbar, and he'd hit him hard. Leo sighs, before finally turning around, placing his paws on the sink as he stares into the mirror. I look at his back, and the black shirt dusty from the dirt he had rolled around in. Carefully, I lift the shirt up his back. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I can see the raised fur from a growing welt from the crowbar had hit, though. There aren't any cuts there, but I do see more spots of dried blood. You have a bunch of little cuts. I see the smooth muscles under Leo's fur shift as he flexes them. Really? Must have been from the rocks in the road. I think my shirt came up a little bit. Oh, when we were wrestling around. Give me the alcohol. Leo sighs again, but hands it over. And take off your shirt. He smirks at that and slowly, purposefully, sensually strips his shirt off. I try to ignore him, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't turned on by his body. It's been a long time since I last saw him shirtless, and he's kind of changed. He's thicker, broader in the shoulders and chest, the muscles smoother and a little more filled out. I swallow and start to dab the alcohol onto the cuts. He makes no indication of feeling any pain, instead swishing his tail around and flicking it up between my legs. Again, I don't know why, but Leo has a way of making you want to play around, even if you know it's a bad idea. He's been flirting with me this whole time, so I guess he's sort of just broken down my defenses. Once I finish rubbing in the alcohol, I let a paw linger on Leo's hip. We both stay like this for a while until Leo finally turns around, leans back against the sink. I look over his form, his broad chest down to his thick stomach. Like what you see. When I look back up at him, his brows are raised, and before I can say anything, he's leaning down. I think he's about to kiss me, so I turn my head to the side, but instead he just nuzzles the side of my head as he brings me in for a hug. I freeze for a second, but relax into his hold after a while, enjoying the feel of his warm fur against mine. He doesn't say anything, just holds me. I can feel his excitement through his pants as he presses into me, then starts nibbling at my ear. I gasp as he catches it between his teeth, and I almost moan. He, of course, knows I have sensitive ears. He moans a little in response, and before I know it, he's pulling me up against him. Then he lifts me off the ground as he spins around and sits me up onto the sink. I mean, this is still a really good CG. This is still a really good CG. uh, you know how it is. My head throbs again, and I think I'm about to fall, but he holds on to me before he begins digging his muzzle into my neck, kissing and licking. I gasp and hug around his body, pulling him closer as he licks and nips. Leaning my throat back, I expose more of my neck to him, closing my eyes as the back of my head presses against the mirror. Leo growls Leo growls, his paws sliding up under my shirt, feeling up my stomach before moving to my chest. Fucking hell. He moans it, sounding like he just scratched an unreachable itch, like he just had his first drink of water in days. Leo? Yeah, I gasp, about to tell him to stop, but then his tongue burrows in past my fur to lick the skin, and my eyes roll. He pulls back. Finally, I lower my gaze to meet his. His tongue is hanging out, making him look a little goofy. I can see a few of my short brown hairs on his tongue. He starts to lean in again, and this time I don't turn my head away. As he almost reaches me, his eye suddenly flick to the right, looking over my shoulders, and I see a shock cross his expression. Then he jumps and spins around, knocking over the soap dispenser and first aid kit. I jump too. What? Leo continues to stare. One paw clenches his chest, the other digging into my thigh. I wait for him to finish, but he doesn't go on. Did you see something? I thought I did. Just seeing things, I guess. Actually, he turns his attention to the first aid kit and leans over, starting to pick up everything. Slowly, I slide down from the sink, pushing my shirt back into place, realizing that the moment had passed. While I'm curious as to what he saw, I'm also curious as to the fact that the break in our intimacy has made things awkward again. Should we check the house? Could be Clint. No, wasn't Clint. Leo grabs his shirt and pulls it back on before turning to me. Just seeing things. I think back to Clint. Well, all right. As we leave the bathroom, Leo looks back in for a moment before flipping the lights off. I think it's a little strange that he makes sure to close the door. Leo doesn't make a move on me again that night, instead keeping a good few inches between us on the bed. I can't help but wonder if I did something wrong. What I do know is that I'm kind of disappointed. Damn. We almost got there. We almost got there. Thursday. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I think we will stop here. You know, we did 2 days. There are some things I have to get done before I go uh get too sleepy anyway. So we will leave that there. Actually, wait, how do I... Title. Yeah. Speedrun? Nah. Well, I mean, I guess I'll do this in fewer parts than I did originally, right? That's why we're 2 parts in. Yeah, we're 2 parts into the game, and we're already like 2/3 of the way through of the Leo route. Kind of, sort of, not really. Maybe that's wrong, but whatever, it's fine. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.